Professional development for paraprofessionals, and I put the little, pondering, I've never really thought of that maybe, emoji here, because when you talk about professional development as far as teachers go, it's a very common thing. I discussed earlier in the lesson, we're used to professional development. We have to have so many hours to obtain or continue our licenses to renew them. So, what about paraprofessionals? They spend the same amount of their day typically working with students as teachers do. So, why is this needed? Obviously, in the past slide, I discussed that paraprofessionals should be lifelong learners as well. So, I think that it is really needed to ensure that paraprofessionals are keeping up with new ideas and trends in the world of education. So then the next question is, who should present it? Teachers could present it, administration, social workers, psychologists, counselors. Anyone could present this to the paraprofessionals as long as it is giving them something meaningful to take away. Some things that it may include. I believe that paraprofessionals should have some professional development prior to their job starting, to kind of set the tone of what the school wants to see from them. Some ways to build a relationship with the teacher or teachers they're working with. Some very light strategies for working with students. A brief overview of what an IEP is. A brief overview of FERPA. A brief overview of behavior intervention plans. How to track and record data. Things of that nature. If you're talking about paraprofessionals in a setting, especially a self-contained one, I would love to see professional development offered for them in terms of their population of students. I know as a severe profound teacher, there is not a lot of PD out there, and I am always seeking it out. So I think that is important for paraprofessionals as well. When you're talking about paraprofessionals in terms of more of an inclusive setting where the paraprofessional is going in to work with students with IEPs, I think that more of a general education professional development would be helpful. I discussed Common Core earlier. I don't expect any paraprofessional to know everything about Common Core. No one does. But just, as I said, a very light overview of it. So the next slide is going to ask you if your district offers professional development for paraprofessionals. And I don't really mean, are your paraprofessionals required to go to the same professional development as you are. Now, I don't really think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I have talked to a lot of paraprofessionals that express that they would like something presented to them more on what they are actually doing as a paraprofessional.